I'm not sure if you ever get tired of seeing the ads in the newspapers and the articles and things that just show somebody getting really close to the buffalo in Yellowstone, and why people throw such a big fit about it, for one thing, and for another thing, why people do it. It's kind of crazy. So I wanted to show you some things that I've been learning. I have been studying buffalo actively for over 5 years. I've been interested in bison for over 10 years, and I am a self-taught animal behaviorist, so I have done a lot of practical experiments and things to understand their body language and the way they communicate a lot better than most people. But I want to show you guys some things that maybe will help you understand why you need to give the buffalo in Yellowstone a bit of distance. Alright, so we're going to start off pretty simple. These are my assistants, my my Puzzle and Ori, who are my sheep I've been working with for quite a few years now. And a lot of people feel really embarrassed when their ruminant squats on the ground in front of the camera. I don't really feel that embarrassed about it because that's a part of the way that they communicate, which a lot of people just overlook, and that includes scientists. So I want to show you some things that can help you understand bison, which are ruminants, a little bit better. So first of all, what is a ruminant? It is an animal like a sheep or a goat or a bison that has 4 stomachs. One of those stomachs, it's actually one stomach, but they all 4 different compartments to one stomach. And one of those, the largest one, is called the rumen. So an animal that has a rumen is called a ruminant. And a couple years ago, I was looking at a lot of different ruminants to try to find some that were very similar to bison, to try to learn more about their body language and behavior. And studying a bunch of videos and clips and things, I came to find out that sheep actually have a lot in common. They're not the same animal, but they have a lot in common with your buffalo. So I'm going to show you some things that will hopefully illustrate for you why you need to give bison the distance that they need. First of all, I'm going to come over here to my assistant. Hello, Ori. Hi. Hi. This is Ori. Ori is a South Down baby doll sheep. And this is Puzzle, her twin. They're 2 different colors, but they're twins. Now, I'd like to point out how close Puzzle and Ori are standing to each other. That is in reference to their immediate bond and their bond with me. You notice they're standing really close to me because I've been working with them since they were tiny, tiny babies. Now, you see what Puzzle do? You see that? Yeah. Those are really obvious indicators of what she wants. She's ticklish and she loves tickles. But just notice where she is standing in relation to me. She walked in front of me and then put herself broadside, which helped me just understand what she was wanting and what she was needing. Now as we follow Ori over here a little bit, again, see where they're standing in relation to one another. And Puzzle's talking with me just by where she is standing, where they're both standing in relation to each other and to our surroundings. We're communicating, we're talking. And a lot of people overlook that communication because it's not as vocal as they expect it to be. I'll show you some other stuff. I'm going to lead them. Over here, I'm going to indicate that I want to travel. I'm facing the direction I want to go. Ori has decided to come along. Puzzle's still a little bit... She's considering her options. But she's still listening. See her ear turned back? She's still paying attention. I'm gonna lead him. And we're gonna start, if you saw that they started lining up. They started lining up, following me in a single row line. Traveling in single file is a behavior that both buffalo and sheep exhibit. So, gonna bring them over here. I'm actually gonna introduce them back into the pasture. Let's see. See, they're still following. It's a little bit more distance. Puzzle is taking her time with it. She's in the very back. But again, note our positions. I'm in the front. Ori's right here. Puzzle's right there. And there is an equal amount of distance between all of us. That is, again, communication, where we're standing in relation to one another. Alright, let me take him in here. Come on, Puzzle. Come on, Rilla. Vocalizations are typically made between mothers and their calves. Same with sheep. Vocalizations are typically made between the mothers and the babies. I have had kind of a maternal relationship with my sheep. I've taken care of them since they were little. So when I call to them, that is the reason. Alright. This is kind of a break in the routine, so it's a little bit different. But let's see what else we can learn. Alright, notice again where they're standing in relation to one another. We're just going to watch them for a second, show you, so you can begin to see it. Ori is looking for breakfast. Just look. Notice that Puzzle is not directly behind Ori. Right? Now me taking a step closer to her indicated to her that she could turn around and go the other direction because we might follow her. Puzzle has very reluctantly followed us this far. So Puzzle is indicating right now that she'd like to leave the pasture and she wants us to go with her. She's indicating that by the way she is facing and by her ears. Whenever she turns her ears back a bit, she is indicating to us that she is asking us if we'll come with her, if we'll join her in that direction. And the distance between us. If I took a step in Puzzle's direction, she would start walking towards the gate. Because me taking a step indicates to her that we're going to travel and that she can lead. Ori is remaining in my proximity zone. Now, a proximity zone, we'll show some pictures by Wes Olson later to show you what a proximity zone is. But a proximity zone is like the space immediately around me. There's my intimacy zone, which is really super close. The proximity zone, otherwise known as the flight zone. Temple Grandin coined that phrase, I believe. The flight zone, by how close we could get to the animals. But the flight zone is more understood as the proximity zone from the outside. It is when people are manipulating the sheep's movements by being on the outside of that connection. Whereas the proximity zone is when you're inside of it, you're understanding that you're a member of the flock to some degree, and that you communicate with them by the way you step and where you step. And so I guess it might be something I have to break down in a number of videos rather than just the one. This behavior right here, we have again, Ori is remaining in my proximity zone, which means she is waiting for me to decide the direction we're going, whereas Puzzle is on the kind of the outside of the proximity zone, which means she is indicating that she would like to leave the area, but she'd like us to come with her. So let's go ahead and take a step in that direction, see what they do. Okay, Puzzle is indicating that she wants affection. Yeah. Do you want to leave the pasture? Ori is now indicating the same, that she would like some affection. Okay. Do either one of you want to lead? Do you want to lead, Puzzle? Alright, you can lead. Alright, again, we're lining up, the three of us. This time, Puzzle gets to lead. Notice Ori stopped, and she was asking me by the turning of her ears if we're still going in this direction. And I followed with my feet to indicate that I am. Stopping frequently while during travel, very common, because the sheep kind of consult one another about what direction they want to go and how far and how fast and all that stuff. And Puzzle, when I get right behind her, she starts asking for affection all over the place, so she'll stop much more frequently and turn broadside. Yes, I know, you're cute. But I'm trying to show the people stuff. Alright, keep walking. Anyway, I will explain in more technical terms later. Alright, they're waiting for me to take the lead now. So I will step around Ori into the front and I'll take the lead. Yep, there they go. So that's kind of to show you that the animals, the ruminants, are communicating based upon where they're standing, which direction they're facing, what the distance in proximity to one another and to other objects in the area, and how fast they're moving. Now, that is all very subtle communication between them, and if you're not aware of that, then you're speaking, then you're saying things in their language that you might not be meaning to say. So, I'll give you more examples on that in just a minute. But, yeah. Have you ever noticed how often people, when they're walking up to a bison, walk straight up to it? Let's see if I can give you an example. So we're in Puzzle and Ori's barn. Yeah. Notice when a Puzzle approached me, she approached me broadside. She came up and approached me broadside. Yeah. If I was to approach Ori face to face, head on, she turns broadside. The same. Broadside is a non-confrontational approach that they take. Bison often end their confrontations by turning broadside. Even big rutting bulls can end the confrontation by turning broadside. You don't approach a bison head on, because head on means you're about to confront them. Typically, you will not be able to approach a bison by its backside or broadside unless he wants you to, because they have their weaponry in the front of their heads. They kind of open in the back. I'm sorry. Puzzle is wondering very actively why I keep talking to the device.
It's not typical of her routine. So she's putting herself in the way of it. She she does that with Ori too. When I'm giving too much attention to Ori, she will put herself between us. Puzzles. She's funny. She's funny. Okay. You silly head.
So I get it. The buffalo they're very soft looking. They're very noble and they're wonderful to watch. And they look like you can just walk up to them because they'll tolerate, especially the big bulls. Don't be fooled. The big bulls will tolerate you getting closer to them a lot faster than the cows will. But that's because they know that they can take you out a lot faster than the cows can. So just keep that in mind. And when you are, when you have the opportunity to watch the buffalo, take a moment to watch how close they are to one another, and how close they get to other things in their environment. And you'll be able to begin to discern what their relationships are like based upon that proximity and the direction they're facing and the speed that they're moving. If you have the opportunity even to watch them, especially to watch them grazing, you'll be able to learn a lot about their relationships that way. Don't go near the buffalo. It goes without saying that we move at a different speed. We face different directions for different reasons than the buffalo do, and all these little subtleties are things that the buffalo understand that we don't really understand very well at this point, which can create misunderstandings, miscommunication, and drive a bigger wedge between the human-buffalo relationship and Yellowstone. So please don't go near the buffalo. Just watch them. You can learn a lot just by watching them. If you have the opportunity to film them, there's see if you can. The funnest thing you can do is learning how to tell them apart by their ages, by their sexes, and by their hierarchical order. Sorry, that one never comes out clear. But their position in the herd. See if you can spot those the matriarchs, the oldest cows in the herd. If you can find her, you can also probably find her nucleus company, and you can see how she's directing the whole herd even from the back. So that's so cool, and you can be able to begin to see how that communication works. So just watch if you have a chance, and maybe it'll take you a couple hours to find her, but just watch, look for the subtleties, and you'll begin to see that. And just don't get near the buffalo. You don't have to get near them. You can still get a lot of information and be really close to what they're doing just by watching.